Hey guys and gals, thanks for checking in. Today we're going to talk about expediting versus a regular 8 to 5 job or 11 to 7 job, or a regular job, right? So there's some pros and cons to each. And okay, so to start off with, here's the thing about expediting, and that goes along with or goes for over-the-road truck driving as well. Similar, because you're gone away from home, right? You hear over and over that it's not a job, it's a lifestyle, right? I know that's cliche, but it's true. There's a reason it's a cliche. It's because it's true. This is not a job, a regular job. So, some of the pros, some of the cons, the versus. If you have an 8 to 5 job, a regular job, whatever the hours are, you are going to be home most likely, and I know there's variables, but you're going to be home most likely on the weekends, right? In a regular job, you're going to be home on the weekend. You've got 2 days a week to get done whatever you need to get done. If you need to go to whatever government office or whatever during the week that's only open during the week, you got to take off work to get that done. Sunday night, chances are, unless you're just loving what you're doing, and if you're loving what you're doing, then you're not watching this video, right? But Sunday night, you got the Sunday night blues, right? Because you got to set the alarm again and get up and start it all over again. Now I'm just going over the cons right now, okay? You have probably got a week to 3 weeks of paid vacation if you've got a decent job, regular job. You have to plan that vacation out ahead of time, right? You're working all year. Come May, June, July, whenever you decide to take off and go wherever you're going to go or stay home, you burn up your week of vacation or a couple weeks vacation, and then you kind of down because you think, man, now I've got to wait a whole other year, before I can go on vacation again. So you're looking forward to that 3-day weekend. When your day is over, you've got time to come home, eat a bite of supper, take a shower, maybe watch the news, go to bed, wake up to the alarm, do it all over again. If you've got kids in school that are into sports or something, you're doing that, and then you're just grabbing a bite to eat and you're rushing home and going to bed. What I'm trying to say is you're on a pretty rigid schedule, right? And your time off is very rigid, very allotted, and that's just the way it is, okay? That's fine and dandy for a lot of people, but I'm just kind of laying out some groundwork here as far as differences. Okay, now, expediting, over-the-road trucking, whatever. I'm going to try to stick to van expediting here because that's what I'm doing and that's what I'm talking about. There is not much rigid about it. Now, as compared to that, you can go out and work. You're going to be out over the road for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, however long you choose to stay out, right? But when you come in, you are in for as long as you want to be in, as long as your finances will allow you to be in. If you go out for a week, or you go out for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you come in, you can stay in for you can stay in for 4 days, you can stay in for 3 weeks, whatever your finances allow you to do. There is no, rigid schedule. You are going to set your own hours as far as that goes, if you're an owner-operator. So, you are going to be home, during the week when you come home, during working hours where, everybody else is out working, so you can take care of those things that you couldn't take care of otherwise, right? Just on the weekends. So there's kind of that flexibility. Now, the downside to that on the expediting end is you can't necessarily make plans very easily, not short-term plans, because if you live in Oklahoma and you've got a wedding coming up or whatever, you've got a barbecue coming up, and over the weekend, and it's Wednesday, and you happen to be in North Carolina, and you don't get a run that's coming back this way, you're not going to make it. You're going to miss some weddings, and you're going to miss some funerals. Working over the road. That's just the way it is. That's part of it. That's why it's a lifestyle, right? You're going to be in. When you're going to be in doing things while your buddies are out working their 8-to-5 job. You're going to be out on the road while your buddies are in on the weekends fishing and barbecuing. That's just kind of the way it is. So it is definitely a lifestyle. There are certain securities you get with your regular 8-to-5 job that you don't get with this. You've got a pretty regular paycheck coming in. Doing this, you're going to have, some pretty nice paychecks coming in. But when you're home, you're not getting paid, right? You only get 1 week to 3 weeks off during the year in your 8-to-5 job, where you can take a week's vacation every month if you want to doing this, but it's not paid. So you have to manage your money. A lot of people don't make it doing this because of a couple of reasons. One would be they can't stand to be away from home, right? You're not sleeping in your own bed every night. You're not, you're away from home. The other would be you have to be able to stand to drive long hours. You're going to be driving long hours. That's all there is to it. If you enjoy driving, if you like traveling and driving, then that's a plus. You have to be good with your own company. You have to be a person who can get by living by yourself, kind of living in your head, because you are going to be by yourself a bunch. Now, it's a lot better than it used to be when I first started driving truck. We didn't have cell phones and internet and all of that, to go along with us. When you wanted to call home, you stopped at the truck stop and you called on a payphone, right? Flying J's used to have phone booths, pay phone booths just stacked up, and everybody'd go in there and call home on the payphone, and it was kind of expensive too. So now we've got all these distractions. You've got your phone, you can FaceTime back home, you can get on Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is you do, YouTube. So that makes that part a lot easier. Another reason that people wash out in this industry and don't make it is, even if they're okay with being out on the road and being by themselves, maybe their spouse or their significant other, their family back home is not okay with it, right? And start giving them some trouble, which that's okay. This lifestyle is not for everybody. It takes a person bent a certain kind of way to be able to live out on the road and be by themselves, right, for hours on end. It takes a special kind of person to have a spouse out on the road and it takes a special kind of relationship between those two people to be able to do that. So, you know, it takes a lot. You're either bent towards this lifestyle or you're not, and one is not necessarily wrong or better than the other. But your regular job and your over-the-road expediting, truck driving, whatever it may be, there's very little in common between those two. You need to weigh those things out before you venture into it. You need to discuss it with your significant other or your spouse. And if you've never done it before, never experienced being away from home before, you can discuss it till the cows come home. But until you go out and actually experience it, neither one of you are going to know if you can handle it or not. For those that enjoy it, there's really not any other way of life for them. But for those that don't, you know, it's just a no-go. So, those are some of the pluses and minuses of those two things, and it's up to you to decide which one fits you. If you haven't done it, you're going to have to get out there on the road and try it. Like I've said in other videos and other people have said, don't go out and go into debt for a vehicle, for a van, for a truck, whatever it may be, and to do it until you have tried it. You know, try it for a fleet owner, try it as a company driver or something before you go out and go into debt for it. But if you like it, you like it, and if you don't, you don't. So there's just some of the pluses and minuses. Thanks for checking in, and I'm going back out on the road tomorrow, so we'll see where we go, and can't wait to share that with some of you guys and gals. Thanks. See ya.